And I can't seem to find a light between the walls I built for myself right in my mind. And then you came over and you showed me love that I never had seen before. And now when I got you, it's all gonna be alright. Thinking about all the things we did tonight. What a time to be alive. Just you and I. Just you and I. To go out of my mind, and all I need right now is for you to stay the night. But if you keep saying that you've got to leave, then I'm gonna be alright. As long as you tell me that we ain't running out of time. Thinking about all the things we did tonight. What a time to be alive. Just you and I. Just you and I.
elixir of life. Because time slows down close to the speed of light, special relativity provides us with a means of going to the stars.
Follow your trail and I'm losing your mind and I'm losing your head. Let me escape from this unlove, cause I'm a prisoner. I just want to look my way and never back to you. I'm not above it. Let me be myself. I'm not above it. Let me be myself.
Emo guy goes down the inside of turn one. Is he going to get the job done there? Yes, he will, but Lucas Ruff will come and switch underneath him and push him wide. Brazier versus Bostov, currently 9th and 10th. There goes Bostov again and goes round. There's Disco. Gavo sent it down the inside and around he goes. Yes, yes, as Big Boy Brazier has had a big moment and he's gone off. Is he going to get the job done? He's going to stick with it, and Rabbit Joe goes round.
Get up. We want you to get on your feet. Stand up, stand up. Come on, get loose with the heat. Right now. Think about it till we black out. So get the fuck up. So cover and dock, you're out of luck, we don't give up. Yeah, we is us. You're riding with us. We want you to get on your feet. Stand up, stand up. Come on, get loose with the heat. Right now. Pick up body till you black out. So get the fuck up.
Just get towed around maybe by the McLaren. Oh, the McLaren hits him! Bostov has hit Emo Guy and has slowed his progress right down.
I've been counting down the days to get out. I've been looking for a way from this town. And you're too far away to help me now. So I'm counting down the days to get out. 'Cause I need to learn to forget everything that drags me down. I need to forget everything inside me now. Full speed ahead.
Can anybody stop this man from winning? Masha Himovic will exit the final corner to make it 2 from 2 here in the ACC. Matt wins at the Hungara ring. But it's Emo Guy.
Emo Guy comes across line for second place, a valiant effort.
And once again, Monkey Boy with a solid drive will get himself on the podium. P3 for Monkey Boy as he'll be returning back to Pro-Am next season.
I've been staring at the sun in my eyes. I've been keeping on the run every...
I don't know where I am, I don't know where you take me, I don't know where you take me. I just follow your trail and I'm losing your mind and I'm losing your head. Let me escape from this love, 'cause I'm a prisoner. I just want to look my way and never back to you. I'm not above it. Let me be myself. I'm not above it. Let me be myself. Let me be myself. Let me be myself. I'm not above it. Let me be myself. I'm not above it. I don't know where I am, I don't know where you take me, I don't know where you take me. I just follow your trail and I'm losing your mind and I'm losing your head.
Emo Guy goes down the inside of turn 1. Is he going to get the job done there? Yes, he will, but Lucas Ruff will come and switch underneath him and push him wide.
My way and never back to you. I'm not above it. Let me be myself. I'm not above it. Let me be myself.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Simplay Motorsport. My name is Dan Davis, and I'm bringing you the action once again here at Simplay Motorsport for a little bit of ACC, Assetto Corsa Competizione season here for our first season of racing here, and we are round 3 of the season, and we are here at the very famous French Grand Prix of Paul Ricard, and a very different layout to this circuit here, as this man and Sati Apex have already learnt themselves after being very well known to racing here on the F1 version. They've just been a little bit caught out by the chicane, as on ACC there is no chicane here, as I'm going to just try and find a driver who is coming to the chicane. Fury, as he comes down the back straight, normally you would turn left on the F1 gate, but instead Fury's going to go flying by, and there is no chicane for them to worry about, so the back straight is completely flat out. And like I said, Monkey Boy, let's see if he negotiates it perfectly. Yes, he does. He goes straight on, as he didn't do so in practice. But nonetheless, we are here for the next round of the championship, and as you can see, some of the drivers just coming back into the session. And we've lost a few of the drivers as well. Bossoff pulling out of the championship as well. Sad to see him go, but nonetheless, we've still got a great set of drivers lined up for you here at Simplay Motorsport for this ACC race. And I know Matt's going to dislike me for saying this, but as PN comes down the back straight, let's just take one more time to appreciate the sound of this beautiful Aston Martin. And here you can really appreciate as he goes down the back straight. PM Motorsport revving that V12 engine, and listen to it roar. Yes, we are live. We are here for ACC, and the Aston Martin is once again showing off its beautiful noise. A quick run through of the championship as it stands after round 2 at the Hungaroring. It is Matimovic who leads the way. In second place is Rabbit Joe, who currently isn't here at the minute. So Rabbit Joe going to be losing out in P2 at the minute to Forzy, who's currently P3. Monkey Boy is P4. P5 is Emo Guy. P6, it goes the way of the Ferrari driver of Peaceful Explosion. Then is this man, PN Motorsport, currently 7th in the championship, with Gavlar currently sitting in 8th. Fury in 9th place at the minute, with Disco sadly not able to race tonight. I hope he feels better soon. Bit under the weather today, and I hope he feels better soon. We'll see him back on track. He's currently 10th in the championship. 11th is Lucas Roth, with 12th is Sati Apex. 13th is John, and then 14th is Welshie. 15th is Smoky Devil. 16th is Dean Wasocki. 17th is that Bozzy Boy. 18th is Bryn. 19th is Big Boy Brazier. And that is your championship order as it stands at the minute, as PN comes into the pits. As again, another awkward thing, that F1 comes in just in the penultimate corner. You come in wide through there and come in through the pits that way. Here, you come in straight away on the exit of the final corner. As you can see, Sati Apex just going past it there. See if I can get another driver. I'm just trying to see who is the next car to come towards the pits. I think it might be, trying to figure out the numbers here, 12 of Lucas Roth. There he is as he comes out of the final corner towards the back start finish straight, and there just on the right hand side is the pit entry. Very easy to catch out, and also the pit exit is going to be a struggle as well as they come down the main straight. There's the pit exit, and already Lucas Roth having to avoid Welshie coming out the pits. So already a few things that these guys have to look out for here at this French circuit, as there's a car currently stopped in the middle sector. Who is that? That's John. Sorry, not middle sector, final sector. He's just stopped on the side of the circuit at the minute. But it is currently Fury at the minute leading the way in the Lamborghini, fastest at this stage, but Big Boy Brazier currently in second in the McLaren. Third is Peaceful Explosion, with Monkey Boy currently P4, Forzy currently P5, and PM Motorsport, the only 6 to put a reps at a time. Emo Guy currently in the pits, Matt 8th, Gavlar currently 9th, Sati in 10th, John in 11th, and he's got going again, Welshie in 12th, Lucas Roth 13th, and Smoky Devil bringing up the rear, and I believe Matt was coming through the middle sector now, and the man who needs to be stopped by these guys, because at the minute he is going to run away with this championship with 2 wins to his name already, the only man to win in the ACC at this precise stage of the season. Can anybody stop him? Emo Guy might be the man to challenge him, as he seems to have very good pace here on the ACC game. As the car has gone off, that is Matt. He's actually dropped it on the quick right-hander. That's not what he wants to be doing at this stage already. Just getting a few final tweaks and changes as they are in a free practice session. Peaceful exits the final corner. And evening to everybody in the chat. We have Mummy D in the chat, 4Z, PN Motorsport, and Prava. All in the chat. And we shall, let's see how many people we got in the chat tonight. Let's hear from you guys. Get behind your drivers and see who you are supporting here tonight. Big Boy Brazier currently in the middle sector, or exiting the final first sector, going into the long back straight. What can he do in this McLaren? Currently a quarter of a second off the pace of Fury at the minute. Once again, you just don't know what fuel loads they are running. We could be seeing a high fuel load here from Big Boy Brazier, and that's why he's not able to improve a little bit more, or possibly he's on a low fuel run for Fury. We just don't know what fuel modes they are running. One other thing to keep an eye out this evening, ladies and gentlemen, is also track limits. Track limits is going to be a major thing. If you can look around on the circuit, sadly on this AZC PS4 version, you can't go on board with the cars. I know the PC version you can, but if we stay on board with Sati Apex, if you can see to the outside of the circuit, especially in the corners, you shall see a couple of bollards and a couple of like curb sausages, as you'll see on the ground. I know there's one in the middle of this corner here, and Sati comes around the corner here. Just see a yellow mark, you just see it there briefly. They are markers on the circuit that the game registers as track limits. You touch those curbs, those sausage curbs, you are going to be classed as taking track limits. There's also a bollard as well that pops up. Those are the yellow curbs. Once again, you touch them, you will be taken for track limits. So good thing about this game, it will police the track limits for you. As Matt comes down the main straight now, there is a bollard going into turn 1 as the car exits the pits, but luckily not going to hinder Matt. I think it's Gavlar. There are those yellow sausage curbs once again, and the pillar has already been smacked and put into the middle of the circuit, so not the best example there, but you can just see it in the foreground. A couple of the bollards have been knocked over. Now Matt's still struggling to get a lap time on the board here at the minute, and only half the grid at the minute actually putting a lap time together. I think Emo guy's just chilling in the pits for a minute, having a bit of a rest. He has just been doing a little bit of testing before he went live. And again, Sati Apex, another man, can't seem to put a lap time together. Welshie just going a bit deep there. He's just struggling to get his Lamborghini hooked up. But good evening to everybody, and if you haven't done so, then please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell to be notified for when we are live, so you do not miss any of the action here at Simplay Motorsport. And make sure you tune in on Sunday night as well, as we go to the penultimate round of the F2 Championship, as we will head to Japan for the Japanese Grand Prix at Suzuka for the penultimate round of the season. As we're currently on board with Lucas Roth in the Assetto. What can this car do? Not the fastest in the straight line, but very, very stable, well-balanced car. A car that I tend to enjoy myself driving on this game. Very, very good car in the right hands as well. And Lucas Roth coming towards the back end of the circuit. And you can hear, not quite like the F1 cars that can take it flat through there. The GT cars having to lift, possibly brake as well, as Big Boy Brazier has found a little bit more time. He's found a 10th or two to get within a 10th of Fury. We will go back with Keys. He is currently on a lap time, so we'll see if he improves. And he's coming into the final sector now. And into the final he goes. What can Lucas Roth do? Is this a good enough a lap time? And towards the line he comes, and PN, you will get a pit confirm. There you go, my friend, pit confirm. And towards the line, Lucas Roth, does he finally get a lap time on the board? No, he does not. He's not done a bad lap time. Matt has, though, and he's currently 8 tenths off the pace at the minute. currently behind a Ferrari, and that is Gavlar. So he's going to get a little bit of a tow, but the Bentley here doesn't seem very powerful. Obviously, the last few races we have gone to has been very, very handy. And currently, it's not looking very strong here. But obviously, a lot of people running different cars, different setups. We'll see what these guys can do. As we'll see the Ferrari of Gavlar just going off there in the quick right-hander. Copy says PN in the chat, and just these guys getting a few final tweaks before they go into qualifying. But between Peaceful, Fury and Big Boy is very, very tight. 10 separating them, and Peaceful Explosion, actually, just about to say his name, he's looking very good in that Ferrari, currently P3 at this minute, stuck behind the BMW of Sati Apex. Can Sati allow him just to complete his lap time here, or has he just followed him? It's always good to do a little bit of a test to see if the how the downforce settles, and there's Sati right on the curb, just struggling with the BMW to get a lap time together here. But an interesting way Sati picked his car. He just randomly picked the car, and it ended up being the BMW, and it's going to be a big handful for him for here, as he goes a little bit wide on exit. Peaceful to the line. What can he do? Does he improve? No, he will stay P3 as it stands. Sati's still unable to put a lap time together. Suzuka's rough, so has he finally got a lap time under his belt? That is the question. Towards the line? No, he still hasn't put a lap together. And I'm just going to do a little bit of quick research on this circuit. Obviously based in France, and the lovely colours of the French flag, as Lucas Ruff has put his window wipers on, probably in representation of Dean Wasocki, who famously always has his window wipers on. And what a circuit we come to. A bit of a weird circuit, this one. It's not really... I personally don't like this circuit. It's not one of my favourites. It's a bit... one, confusing. There's loads of different routes and lines that you could take, especially down the back straight, as Monkey Boy and Sati got caught out by. But definitely not one of my preferred circuits. It is an FIA Grade 1. It can have a capacity of up to 90,000 people. Opened in the 19th of April 1970, about 52 years ago, and currently holds some major events like F1, ELMLS, the 4 hours of Paul Ricard, GT World Challenge, the FIA F2s, the World W Series, Touring Car Europe come here as well, a lot of different events, and Porsche Super Cup as well. Current lap record is actually held by Sebastian Vettel in the Ferrari with a 1:32.7. Like I said, it's a circuit that's been changed many times. Back in the olden days, it was a very different looking circuit. Current lap record here is actually held by a Lamborghini Huracan, and that lap time is a 1:59.3, and I believe these boys have already gone a lot quicker than that. Represent times that are closer to that. The Formula Renault, Formula Regional European, so the Alpine kind of championship, they're actually running the representative times that we're running here at the minute. They've done a 57. So the GT3 cars actually here in real life seem to be a lot slower than our boys here at the minute, but obviously virtual world's very different to the real world. Like I said, expanded for many years here, and has put on some great shows with great Grand Prix as well. Personally, still prefer Manicure, but either way, this is what we're running here tonight, and what an exciting night's worth of racing we have ahead of us. Once again, the format here. Ladies and gentlemen, my was just sat on my headset there. Just popped the headset out. The typical format here, obviously, is these guys have been doing a practice session. As Dimasoki's now got himself into the session. They've just done a practice, or a very long practice session, about, I think it's 30-minute practice session. And they've only got less than 7 minutes left of the session. And who's that? That's Gavlar, I think, and Sutty have come together. They've both had a spin, and around they both go. Both not in a rush to get going by the looks of things. As John's coming around now, Sutty's gone back to the pits. Gavlar, he's just spun round and got going again. Already a little bit of contact from drivers. As oh well, she goes a little bit wide there. Gavlar also just trying to get back onto form after that little contact with Sutty Apex. Forzi currently going through the final sector in his Porsche, running a little bit wide there, and I think this Porsche may struggle tonight. Doesn't seem to be handling the corners very well. As you can see there, he just runs a little bit wide. Another car that sounds absolutely beautiful. Devil in the other Porsche 911, just behind Big Boy Brazier, and Peaceful Explosion now top of the table. We've missed that. Peaceful Explosion, fastest of them all. How long can that last for? That is the question. Peaceful Explosion in the Ferrari, looking very good here at this precise stage of this session. Oh, as he hangs a little bit sideways there. Fury now, what can he find in his Lamborghini? Can he find a little bit more pace in his Lambo? Or is that basically the best he's got? Or is he just trying to tweak the race setup at the minute? Looking very good through turn 2 there. Beautiful through turn 2 as he now heads towards turn 3. Not really a corner as such. So this is primarily turn 3. Right on the curbs there and then into turn 4. Really pushing the limits there. Into turn 5 he goes and tries to get a good exit. Opens up, try best he can for turn 6, which then swamps him straight into turn 7. And a good evening to Peaceful Stepdad in the chat. And then down the back straight, and obviously normally at this point, if you're in the F1 car, you should be heading towards the chicane for turn 8, 9. But instead, turn 8 is all the way down the back straight towards the quick right-hander. And again, F1 cars can take it flat. These GT cars going a lot slower, but nonetheless, they're still very impressive as Fury now comes up towards turn 8. He goes. How brave is he? He leaves the brakes late, goes through, and has a very good run through turn 8 actually, and then heads towards turn 9. As he goes into turn 9, he just gets a wiggle on entry and goes a little bit wide. As he's done that, he just tries to bring the front back in to get a late apex to then set him up for turn 10. Again, another late apex corner, a very weird corner. But Fury once again gets a good line, good exit, and then heads towards 11. Again, different lines can be taken here. You can go tight, out wide, and back and tight again. Or you can tuck it as tight as you can, which Fury's doing. And then opens up into the final corner here. And again, that hairpin corner can catch a few people out, run a little bit wide. But Fury, a decent lap here from himself. Is just going to put him a little bit higher. Currently 3/10 off the fastest from Peaceful Explosion. He crosses the line, and he does not improve. And will stay P2 as it stands. But there's a big gap already between the top 3. All these guys are within a couple of tenths of one another. And then you've got Monkey Boy, who's still 1.1 off the pace of Peaceful Explosion, and Peaceful looking very, very good here at this stage as we go on board with the other Ferrari of Gavlar, who is going into the final sector. So once again, guys, if you haven't done so, then please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell to be notified for when we are live, so that you're able to not miss a single bit of action here at Simplay Motorsport, and you can see all the great racing that we can provide here. As you see there, Gavlar exits the final corner. Can he improve on his lap time? towards turn 1 he goes. He goes P4 now, so he now goes between Big Boy Brazier and Monkey Boy, and once again those Bentleys just seem to be struggling ever so slightly. But again, we're still waiting to see what Emo Guy can do, who is currently out on track in one of the other Bentleys. He goes down the back straight. I don't know if this is his first flying lap or not, but he is on his way towards the quick right-hander. And tonight I think it's all going to be about who can keep it within track limits, because track limits seems to be the biggest thing here. Everyone seems to be just running a little bit wide. Emo Guy looked like he just nailed that right-hander very well there, and he tries to sort the brakes out so he can handle this difficult long right-hander. Tires is also going to be a major thing. Tire temperature, don't want the tires getting too hot, lose the performance. So it's all about looking after the car, looking after the tires. It's going to be a long night's racing. 20-minute practice session is what these guys have just had. They're going to go into another 20-minute qualifying session, and then they will go into an hour-long race, which they will have a pit window, and they will have to comply with the rules and do at least a tire change in that pit window. They do not pit within the pit window, at least in that time, they will be given a penalty. I believe it's I think it's something like 180 seconds or something staffed. So either way, it's going to be a longest night worth of racing, and we will come to the end of that practice session. Emo Guy still currently on lap time, but he is currently 1/10 off the fastest at the minute, set still by Peaceful Explosion. Sati Apex in the final sector, still not yet set a lap time, nor has John, as Welshie's currently blocking the pit lane. John's stopping as well, and Sati Apex currently in the final few corners. What can he do here? And towards the line he comes, Sati Apex. Does he finally get a lap time on the board? No, he does not. So Sati will be going into this a little bit blind. Dean has managed to get out on track. So Fury into the final corner. Has he found a little bit of time? Or is this just making a few final tweaks and changes to the car just to make sure he knows exactly what he's doing? He doesn't improve, so he will stay currently P3 and will not go any faster than that. Into the final few corners come Emo Guy, last man out on track, a 10th behind Peaceful Explosion. Has he found a little bit more pace on this lap? Towards the line he comes. Emo Guy, has he managed to go quicker than Peaceful? He did go top of the table, I think. But we are green now for qualifying, and the first man out is John. He's the first man on the move here, as PN also follows right behind him as well. And there is Matovic also exiting the pit lane. He's got Peaceful Gavlar, sorry, right behind him. Is anybody else on the move? Yes, it is. Peaceful Explosion is on his way out. Also, Dean Wasaki there coming out of the pits with Welshie right behind him. So I think all of this is going to be about clean air. They've got enough time around this circuit to really open up the track, make sure they have enough space between one another. As you see there, Emo Guy on his way out, as is Monkey Boy. Fury still yet to move. He's making some few final adjustments and changes there. And Lucas, Roth and Smokey also staying in there. Big Boy Brazier also does have a qualifying ban for this race due to retiring and joining me in the commentary box. So Jamie will not be allowed to go out on track. So he currently has to sit in the pits and wait. But it is going to be John who sets the first lap time here. Just behind him is a PN, but I think he's allowed the Ferrari and Bentley through of Matahimovic. No, it's just the Ferrari of Gavlar. As there is Matt, he's just allowing a few other cars to go past him. He's just allowed Peaceful Explosion. He two just trying to get tyre temperatures into their car. But like I said, it will be John who will be the first man to set the lap time, as he is now into the final sector. So John will be setting the benchmark here. Just as these guys get going, I will quickly do a poll on who you think will take pole position here for round 3 of the season. Remember guys, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell to be notified for when we are live. And if you are interested in getting involved, then head over to our Discord page and our Facebook page. Have a look there and see what events we have coming your way, as we have many good events coming up soon. And also make sure you sign up for the new season of GT3 Project Car Season. Our Duel in the Crown Pro and Pro-Am will be returning back once again, as we will start things off at Oschersleben for the new season. And a poll has gone up. Who's going to take pole position? Matt, Peaceful, Fury, or Emo Guy? That is the question, as John will be setting the first pace here. And not too far behind him, I believe, is Gavlar. Yes, there he is. With PN just in front of them as well. So, who is going to take kind of the first strike here tonight? Who is going to be the one to set their stone? So we'll come into the final sector now. You see a PN going very wide there, struggling to get that Aston Martin to turn, and Peaceful and Matt come together there. Not what these two would have wanted at the start of this qualifying session at all. But once again, we turn back to John as he's in the penultimate corner. He goes into the final corner. What lap time can he produce? This is going to be the benchmark that everybody will have to try and beat. Gavard looks like he's on a very good lap time now. But John towards the line, what does he do? Doesn't set a lap time, so his lap time was disallowed. Gavlar, this is going to be the benchmark. He's at 58.6. Well, I know Peaceful was coming across the line next, but PN was just in front of them. Matt pushed his way through, and his lap time's disallowed, as is Peaceful's. PN, his will be disallowed because he took track limits. Next, we look to Emo Guy into the final corner. There's Welshie just in front of him as well. So all these guys come on towards the line now. Welshie, what lap time is he going to set? He doesn't set one. Emo Guy, he goes. He doesn't set a lap time. Monkey Boy goes top of the table there. As Fury comes towards the line, does he set a lap time? No, none of these guys setting any lap times at this minute. Everybody here just struggling to get a lap time even on the board. Forzy is now into the final corner. Is he going to get a lap time? So far, only 2 drivers have managed to get himself a decent lap, and Monkey Boy and Gavlar are the only ones to do so. We still got the others to come towards the line. Forzy towards the line. Does he put one together? No. Once again, drivers failing to put a lap time. Sutty hasn't put a lap time together at all night. Can he finally get one here in qualifying? He does not. So once again, only 2 drivers have set a lap time. Where is Dean Wasaki on track? He is in turn 1, so he is with Sutty Apex. He's managed to get out on track. So we look back to John. Has he finally put a lap time together? No, he's bailed to the pits. Then we go back to Gavlar, who himself is on a lap time. Can he improve and go ahead of Monkey Boy? Then we look just into the background. There is Matahimovic, I think will be the next man to come towards the line. Peaceful Explosion right behind him. Gavlar towards the line. Does he improve? He doesn't, and will stay P2. We then have Mike and Matt coming into the final sector now. As Peaceful crosses the line, he goes P2. Matt, what can he do? He doesn't improve. He doesn't even set a lap time. He's slow there. We see a car spinning in the background. I think that was PN. Towards the line, Emo Guy goes, and he goes and sets a 56.9. Boom. There's the lap time to beat, boys. Fury now towards the line. What can he do? Has he put a lap time together? He has. He goes P2. Welshie hasn't set a lap time, neither. 40. The next man to come towards the line. On his way towards the line now, Forzy in the Porsche 911. Can he get a lap time on the board? He does, and goes P6 with that one. Meanwhile, in the background, we got Sati Apex and Dean Wasaki coming towards the line now. Emo Guy looks pretty happy with his lap time. Dean and Sati towards the line. Sati still no lap time, nor Dean. So now we look to Mike, next man to come towards the line. Peaceful Explosion. Bouncing all over the curb. Car's gone a bit loose on the rear. Is that going to slow him down? Has he overheated those tyres a little bit there? 56 is probably something that he can produce in this car, but at the minute it hasn't come through just yet. Into the final sector, Peaceful Explosion comes. The man who still hasn't set a lap time, who needs to, is Matahimovic. He really hasn't been able to put a lap together. Mike goes wide. I think he manages just to avoid the yellow bollard, but it's not a very good exit and not a very good run towards the line. Peaceful Explosion, has he found a little bit more time? He has, but not nearly enough. The rest of the cars are coming through, and Matahimovic does set a lap time. He goes P3, more importantly, ahead of Peaceful Explosion. John towards line, he doesn't put a lap time together. Sati, he's currently in the far end of the circuit. Gavlar also. Monkey Boy, does he improve on P5? He doesn't and will stay there. Fury doesn't improve and stays P2. Emo Guy looking very, very good at the minute to hold pole position. As everybody now starting to come back out onto the track. Welshie crosses the line, still P8 for him. Like I said, the 666 of Emo Guy currently coming towards the final end of the circuit. Guys, get your votes in on driver who you think is going to get pole position. A poll's gone out. 13 currently watching. Guys, get your votes in. Only one vote's gone so far, and someone betting on Peaceful towards line. Emo Guy starting his out lap here. Dean Wasaki just in the background in his McLaren. What can he do? He gets a lap time on the board and goes P9. That's good to see. I think that was Smoking. No. 26. That was Gavlar going across, and he didn't improve. So now we look to Sati Apex, who's currently gone off in the middle sector. There's Peaceful Explosion going past him. So is Mike Peaceful Explosion on a better lap time here. We lost it all in the final corner. And as he exits the final corner now, what can Peaceful Explosion do? Heads towards the line. Is this quicker? 9/10 to find. He goes P2. 200ths off Emo Guy. As Dean Wasaki comes back out on track, so Fury and Emo Guy got to find a little bit more pace. Matahimovic doesn't improve. He stays P4. What can these boys do? Monkey Boy, can he find a little bit more pace? I know that was a Porsche going by. I think it was Forzy. Monkey Boy towards the line. Does he improve? No, he will stay in P5. Forzy improves ever so slow. Fury gets within a 10th. Top three are separated by a 10th. Very close stuff here from these guys. Any of these guys who haven't set a lap time yet haven't got close. PM Motorsport towards the line. He hasn't improved. He's on an out lap, I think. We see Mummy D in the chat. Let's get some people in the chat. Let's hear from you guys, as we've now got a vote for Matt. So 3 of you reckon that Matt is going to take pole position here, and as it stands, he's not going to do so, as Emo Guy extends his pole position there at 56.3. So now Peaceful has to find 6/10, 7/10 for Fury. Emo Guy is turning it up here. Sati Apex now the next car to come towards the line. What can this man do? Driving the car he's a little bit unsure about at first, but he is coming through the final corner now. Can he improve on P10? Can he get himself a little bit higher up? At this rate, Jamie, Big Boy Brazier, currently 13th. And Sati still doesn't set a lap time. I just see a load of cars flooding towards the line. Peaceful Explosion doesn't improve, stays 6/10 off. Fury's the next man to keep an eye on. Matahimovic also crossing the line, doesn't improve. Gavlar goes ahead of Matahimovic now. And Gavlar there just holding up Matahimovic as he started his flying lap once again. We're on board with Forzy as a lot of the guys coming towards the pits, and Fury is into the pits. We'll jump straight in there. Emo Guy currently on another lap by the looks of things. Well, she's in the final corner. What can he do on this lap time? That's PM Motorsport. I think it's just behind him. Well, does he improve? Nope, he will stay P9. PM Motorsport, will he get a lap time on the board? Yes, he does. He goes P11. So that drops Sati Apex down a little bit further as Emo Guy comes towards the line. And he improves even further. A 56.0 from Emo Guy. Pretty much a second ahead of everybody else. Emo Guy is looking very strong here to take this qualifying session now. Got a yellow flag. Car returning back to pits. So Mike, what can he do? He's got a lot of time to find. Forzy coming towards the line now into the final corner. He goes. Porsche 911 Power exits the final corner. Currently P7. Can he find some time to get near Monkey Boy? No, he will stay P7. Mike coming towards the line now. Peaceful Explosion, what can he do? Did he find a little bit more time? No, he looked like he had a sloppy exit and is going to have to try again. Gavlar trying to find 4/10 to get near Fury. And towards the line he comes. Has he found those 4/10? No. And once again, drivers struggling to improve. Monkey Boy now in the final corner. Matt is in the fast right-hander. Can Monkey Boy get a little bit closer to Matahimovic? No, he cannot. So once again, everybody just struggling to find improvement, bar this man, who has currently got a very, very healthy lead at the minute with his qualifying lap. As JR Sim Racing's in the chat, and I see you in the chat, buddy, and says, let's go, Emo Guy. Cheering on for his fellow friend. As the poll is still out, if you want to get your votes in as well, hit that like button as well, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Emo Guy improves it further. He has actually got a whole second. He has done a 55.9. I really don't see Peaceful or Fury getting near that lap time. Fury doesn't improve. I think that was Matt just behind him. So Matt currently still a 10th behind Gavlar. Once again, everybody just seems to be struggling to find those little couple of tenths, those little bits of time to improve. And I think Emo Guy will probably take the pole position here, as majority of you reckon that Matt will take pole. And at the minute, your current championship leader is P5. Not where he wants to be right now. Emo Guy though looking very, very strong here. His Peaceful Explosion comes towards the line. Has he improved? No, he will stay P2. So right now I don't see anyone really toppling Emo Guy. He looks like he's going to take pole position, but Peaceful will be starting right alongside him, as it is a side-by-side rolling start here on ACC. Let's just see John towards the line. He just improves and goes ahead of Forzy. So that's good for him. He makes a few little improvements there. Monkey Boy towards the line. Does he improve? No, he can't find those magical 5/10s to try and get ahead of Matt. As the number 12 of Lucas Roth comes out on track. And doesn't set a lap time just yet, so this might be his out lap. What can Keeks do? As I think there's another 20 cars, the 28 of Forzy, and he can't improve to go ahead of John. So it's a fight between John and Forzy at the minute for those positions. Matt exiting the final corner there. There is a car just in front of him, and that is Fury. And Matimovic goes P2 on that lap. He's found some pace, and he'll be starting on the front row with Emo Guy as it stands. So Peaceful Explosion has to bury and find a little bit more time. Dean Masaki exits the final corner. Can he improve on his lap time? No, he does not. He will stay P10. Just behind him is the 26 of Gavlar. He doesn't improve neither. So all these guys just trying to find a little bits here and there. Matt and Emo Guy are done. It's a 2-minute lap here. They will not be able to get a lap time in. Peaceful Explosion, no. Peaceful towards the line now. What can he do? Has he found a little bit more time? No, he has not. So this is his last attempt. Last shot for Emo Guy. Sorry, not Emo Guy. Peaceful. I've read Emo in the chat. Not his favorite track. He says he hates it. He says bangs and goes P1 with a second gap. So Emo Guy not obviously too keen on this circuit, but either way he is currently top of the table. Monkey Boy towards the line now. Has he found a bit more to get near Gavlar? No, he hasn't. This is down to the last couple of laps here. Saty Apex not able to put a lap together. Lucas Roth now into the final corner. If he doesn't get this lap time, oh, and I don't think he will, that lap time might be disallowed. Towards the line he comes. He will get one more shot at it. There's a Porsche just behind him in the background, and that is Forzy, and he goes back ahead of John. So those two carrying on, switching positions between them. As Lucas Roth isn't going to set a lap time, and he pulls over to one side. As Fury bangs in P2. He gets within 7/10 of Emo Guy. He will get one more lap. Fury has one more attempt at this. Dean Wasaki coming towards the line. He will get another lap in, as will, I believe, that is Peaceful Explosion. No, that's Gavlar behind him. So Gavlar will get another lap time. Yellow flag in the middle sector. Dean doesn't improve, nor does Gavlar. We now look to Peaceful Explosion. What can Peaceful do here? Towards the line now. Can Peaceful Explosion find a little bit more time here? Can he get any bit closer? He goes P2 and gets ahead of Fury and Matt. So that drops Matt down to P4. What a qualifying session we are having here. Really close here at Simplay Motorsport. Forzy currently on a lap time. He's run very, very wide though, and I'll be amazed if he does not get his lap time disallowed. He's going to go wide anyway. Can he just keep him in track limits? He does, but it's not the fastest line whatsoever there. Fury though still on a decent lap time behind Forzy. I believe that's the car stopped on the side. That is the 12 of Lucas Roth, I reckon. So Forzy, has he found a little bit more time here? P7, can he get within at least a couple of tenths of Monkey Boy? Will really set him up ready for this race. Towards the line now, he finds some time, but not nearly enough as he needed. It is Fury we set our eyes to now in the Lamborghini. Lucky number 13, towards the line he comes. Very good final corner there. Fury, can he get a bit closer to Emo Guy? No, he will start P3 alongside Matimovic, and that is your qualifying session over. It is Emo Guy who takes pole position with Peaceful Explosion starting alongside him. Fury will be P3. 4 is Martinovic. 5 is Gavlar. 6 is Monkey Boy. 7th is Forzy. 8th is John. 9th is Welshie. 10th is Dean. 11th is PM Motorsport. 12th is Sutty Apex. 13th is Big Boy Brazier with that qualifying ban, but he does manage just to stay ahead of Lucas Roth and Smokey Devil. What can Big Boy do as well? He obviously, with that qualifying ban, he looked very, very quick in the practice session. Can he work his way back to the front? That is the question. As we just wait for the game to sync itself back up. Again, if you haven't done so already, guys, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell to be notified for when we are live, so you do not miss any of the action here at Simplay Motorsport. Also, check out our Discord and Facebook page as well, so you don't get to miss any of the events that are going to be happening here at Simplay Motorsport. Reminder that the new Season 7 will be coming very, very soon. A couple of weeks time, and we'll be back once again on Project Cars for the next season of GT3's Pro-Am and Pro, and what a season we have ahead of us. It's going to be one of the greatest seasons that we have ever had here at Simplay Motorsport, and if you've not signed up, then get yourself signed up. You haven't got left long, and also guys need to get their cars and team name and teammates confirmed and ready, at least with one of the admin team. So either myself, Matthew Duffin, aka Matimovic, Peaceful Explosion, any of the guys who help run here at Simplay Motorsport. So let's have another run of the starting order. It will be Emo Guy who starts on pole position here, with Peaceful running unlock next side to him. Turn 1's going to be very interesting, as all these guys will have very, very cold tyres. How are they going to negotiate that? Fury and Matimovic will take it up row 2 in the Bentley and the Lamborghini. Row 3 will consist of Gavlar and Monkey Boy. Row 4 is Forzy and John. Row 5 is going to be Welshie and Dean Wasocki. Row 6 is PM Motorsport with Sutty Apex riding alongside him. Row 7 will be a Big Boy Brazier and Lucas Roth, and bringing up the rear, Smokey Devil in the Porsche 911. How many people are going to get drive-throughs? How many people are going to get penalties? And who is going to make sure they stick to the tyre rule? That is the question. Guys, get in and chat, support your drivers, support who you think is going to win this race, because I feel like this is going to be a very interesting race. Can anybody stop Emo Guy before he gets going? Or Emo Guy disappear into the French sunset? That is the question.
20 seconds.
As these guys got 20 seconds left to get themselves readied up and in the session. You see the cars just lowering themselves onto the track, and that is them ready to go. John is quite still high up in his car. Has he ready up? Don't think he has. Yes, he has. No, he hasn't. So John hasn't. He hasn't made the start. He will obviously be able to get out on track. The way this game runs, and will allow him to get back on track. As we are on board with Fury. And these guys will get themselves ready to go. Obviously, John now will start from the pit lane. And then we'll go side by side formation. He's still trying to get a little bit more temperature into his brakes. We are here, round 3 for the next round of the ACC Championship, and we are green here at France. And it is Emo Guy who gets away well, but Fury's had an absolute flyer. As he goes towards turn 1 now, Fury's on the outside of turn 1, but he will have the inside of turn 2. As he goes towards the corner now, Emo Guy has him covered though, and everyone else just funnels their way through. Peaceful's had a dreadful start. He's gone from P2 down to P5. And they all go through turn 1 relatively clean. No mishaps, I don't think. Everybody managed to negotiate everybody through. relatively well. A couple of guys are a little bit slow in the background. That is John getting away and racing, but it's Emo guy who leads the way. There's a car off. I think that's Welshie's gone wide, but it's Fury with a very good start with Matimovic right behind him. As Peaceful Step Out says in the chat, good luck everybody, but we now look to Matimovic, who's right on the back of Fury. Which way he's going to go? He's going to go to the right hand side, and is he going to try and do it into the quick right hander? He's going to be very brave if he does so. The Bentley looking a little bit faster in a straight line, but Fury obviously wanting that slipstream off the back of Emo guy. Just in the background as well, we got Gavlar and Monkey Boy going side by side. Peaceful's dropped right to the back of the order, and Fury stays ahead of Matt. Gavlar gets ahead of Monkey Boy. So what has happened to Peaceful after a great qualifying session? Got himself up the top, and he's dropped to the back of the pack. Where is Peaceful? There he is. He's had a moment. Lucas Roth has come to a stop for some reason. He's got going, possibly contact with him. But Emo guy leads this race quite comfortably. It's going to be difficult to stop him now, as he has a very good lead already over the two behind him. But Emo guy is really going to be hoping that Matimovic really starts to put a little bit of pressure on Fury. Matt touching too much curve there and has a wiggle. Gavlar, Monkey Boy having a good little scrap. Forzy, P6. Big Boy Brazier already up to P7 already. Lucas Roth, P further back. I don't like the way the game doesn't manages to sort itself out. I believe that is Sutty Apex ahead of Welshie and Smoky Devil, with Dean Wasaki having a decent start, with Peaceful right behind him, John in 13, and Lucas Ross and PN. Your biggest losers. Excuse me. Emo guy looks like he's had a moment somewhere, because now Fury is right on the back bumper once again. That Lamborghini looking very, very strong through sector 1. Is he going to try and get a good slingshot out of this sector and then into sector 2? No. And Emo guy manages just to extend the gap once again, as they all funnel their way through. Just like Fury in that Lamborghini just does not have overall straight line speed compared to the guys around him. And actually, I say that, he's in the slipstream. He's got a great toe off the back of Emo guy. Is he going to have a look into the right-hander? No. He thinks better of it, but he's right there. And also Gavlar just in the background under some immense pressure from Monkey Boy. Has Monkey Boy managed to find a way through it? No, he hasn't. Big Boy Brazier looking also to try and get on the back of Forzy. We go back to the leaders though. Emo guy still managing to lead the way, but he's got Fury breathing down his neck. And Matimovic just behind him in P3, waiting for anything to happen between the top two. Monkey Boy still can't find a way past Gavlar. And then look at this scrap. Dean Wasaki, though, has managed to get himself ahead of all this group. Who's in front of them? I think that's Peaceful as well. Peaceful's managed to skip all this lot. So whatever's happened here, well, she's actually the lead pack here. So some adjusting going around here is that, well, she goes a little bit wide there. Peaceful will like the look of that, so he can get a little bit closer onto the back of him. But once again, Fury putting pressure on Emo guy. Monkey Boy couldn't be closer to the back of Gavlar if he tried, at Forzy with a great start. Currently P6, Welshie P8, P9, Peaceful. Sutty's had a moment. He's gone round. That's allowed a lot of drivers through, one of them being Smoky Devil and John. Dean Wasaki's managed to get going as well, so all sorts of chaos going on in the background, and Sutty was the biggest loser of them all. And once again, Fury seems very good in Sector 1, not so good in Sector 2. He's a lot closer to Emo Geigo. He's much, much closer here. He's right on the back of the Bentley. But is he going to run out of straight? That's the question. Towards the right-hander he goes. Emo goes having to defend here. Fury's going to go down the inside. He's got so much better straight line speed. Emo guy forcing Fury right to the end of the track. And Fury leads this race now. Can Emo guy come back? Emo guy's down the inside and nearly makes contact with Fury. Matt just sitting there patiently waiting and watching. Monkey Boy and Gavlar still going at it. Forzy's getting interested with Big Boy Brazier getting closer. Welshie is going to get a little bit of pressure here from Peaceful Explosion, as the rest of the pack seem to have just strung out ever so slightly. Fury though with a great overtake on Emo Guy towards the right-hander. Fast right-hander, and he now leads ahead of the two Bentleys. Are we finally getting a car that is not a Bentley winning this race? Fury, very good exit there. And ahead towards turn 1 now. Emo Guy just seems to have lost a lot of pace here to Fury. And Fury now trying to extend his lead. Matt now starting to actually put a little bit of pressure on Emo Guys. We go back to Gavlar, who's still got pressure from Monkey Boy, who's actually holding him up, which is allowing Forzy to get closer. Monkey Boy, there has got an overlap. Is he going to go down the inside of Gavlar? He's going to get the job done. Has he gone too deep? Yes, he has, but he's going to get it stopped. And he stays ahead of Gavlar. Forzy, though, right there with Big Boy Brazier just behind him. Peaceful Explosion now putting pressure on Welshie. As PN actually looking to make a move on Sati Apex. Fury has extended his lead now. He's got a decent gap of 8/10 over Emo Guys. Actually come up to the split now. Fury crosses the split now, and it's 9/10, so he's extending that gap. Matt, though, is right behind these two, and will be waiting to pick up any pieces if these two make any mistakes. Gavlar, look at him, right on the back end of Monkey Boy. And once again, it just seems like the Bentley's very slow in a straight line. Oh, as Gavlar's gone wide, that's going to open the door to Forzy and Big Boy Brazier, as Big Boy gets right onto the back of him. And right now, Big Boy Brazier looking for any opportunity to try and find a way past Gavlar, but at the minute can't seem to do so. Gavlar obviously going very wide just earlier on, as Matt still looking to make a move. His Emo Guy has actually got past Fury, but Fury switches back on him. So Fury must have made a mistake somewhere, and Fury retakes this lead again. Once again, the lead is swapping and changing. Fury now back in front. The more these guys keep fighting like this, Monkey Boy could possibly be interested to get onto the back of him. It was 11 seconds between the leaders and this pack, and Monkey Boy has brought it down to 8 seconds. So Monkey Boy, is he possibly able to get himself back into this fight with the top 3? These guys too busy tripping over one another. Gavlar still under pressure from Big Boy Brazier. Peaceful still behind Welshie after a great qualifying session. He is not able to really progress on. And everyone else still in sequence as Lucas Roth there. I'm not sure what's going on there. He's just very slow. But back to the front once again. Emo Guy, what can he do? Can he find any way of getting past the Lamborghini of Fury? We came back to him in the final sector, and it did look like Emo Guy was ahead. Fury then got back ahead of him. And Matt not quite able to stick with them at this stage. Peaceful still looking to look for an opportunity. Fury giving the slipstream away to Emo Guy, but the Bentley's such a big car. Obviously its aerodynamics isn't the best as they now go through. At the minute, Fury looking good at this stage. He's got Emo Guy just behind him. He just needs to keep cool, calm and collected. Forzy in the background with Gavlar breathing down. Now Gavlar's gone too wide. He's lost the rear end, and Big Boy Brazier nearly goes into the back of him there. Also Peaceful there, looking to find a way past. We go back to the leaders. This is where Fury lost time. Why did he lose time? Is Emo Guy going to send it again? He thinks about it. Wasn't quite able to, and Fury gives him plenty of space. But Emo Guy has compromised Fury's run through the final corner. And this is going to allow Matt to just creep a little bit closer to the back again. Is Matt thinking of a championship here? Rabbit Joe is closest rival. Actually, Forzy was level on points with him. So Forzy actually is his closest rival in this championship. And he is currently down in P5. So at the minute, Matt doing everything right. He's outscoring his competitors. Into the end of the final sector now. And Fury goes a little bit wide. Emo Guy takes a lot of curb, tries to get the run on him. Excuse me. And Fury seems to have a better exit there, but Emo Guy is right there. So at the minute, Matt is still outscoring over his closest rivals. Rabbit Joe, Forzy, and Monkey Boy is his next closest rival. And then it is Emo Guy. And Emo Guy is literally just in front of him. Peaceful Explosion has now managed to get past Welshie, John, and Smokey are a bit slow here. Where is John? There he is. He's going through that sector. Smokey just struggling a little bit there. PN currently still for the 13th, and Dean Musaki 14th and 15th for Lucas Roth. Forzy getting a little bit more pressure from Gavlar, with Monkey Boy just pulling away from him. Looks like Emo Guy's made a move on Fury once again. So now can Fury retaliate and come back at Emo Guy? He looks a bit slow on exit there. That's going to allow Matt an opportunity to come back at him as Fury goes a little bit wide. Is he going to try and send it into the hairpin? No, but he is going to get a much better exit. Matt bouncing all over the curb there. If you want to see Matt's POV as well, he is currently streaming live on his Twitch account. The Gaming Welshman 5 is his name. Have a look at that. So you can see his POV on track as he captures this great action between Fury and Emo Guy as they exit turn 2. Monkey Boy still, he's losing time now as Forzy's now coming back at him. Gavlar is attacking Forzy, and Big Boy Brazier's on the back of them. So that's a great little scrap. Peaceful in the middle of nowhere, with Welshie also in the middle of nowhere. John's actually starting to catch Welshie, with Sati and Smoky Devil going at it. PM Motorsport P13 with that beautiful Aston Martin. And 14th is Dean Musaki, who's now going to get hunted down by Lucas Roth. We go back to the leaders once again. Fury's got the run on Emo Guy as he comes down the back straight. He's got the straight line speed, I know that for sure. And Fury looks to the outside now, but has he got enough of an overlap to go around the outside? He's going to be brave to do so. Emo Guy's going to keep his nose in there. Do they come together? Fury gets the job done around the outside. The quick right-hander. What a move from Fury. Brilliant stuff from him. And they go through the final sector again, and Fury just a little bit slow on exit there. Emo Guy right behind him. He's probably going to send it once again into the final few corners. Emo Guy actually goes wide. This might, oh, he's going to send it into the final corner. He does so. Fury just clips the nose, but he gets the switchback. Matt's got a good exit. And Emo Guy trying everything to just keep ahead of Fury, and Matt's just sitting and watching. Forzy still ahead of Gavlar. We go back to the leaders because anything can still happen. Fury still leads them. But Matt's had a great run through sector 1. Turn 1 and 2. Can he have a look down the inside of Emo Guy here? No, he has a look. Excuse me, sneeze once again. I don't sneeze throughout the day, and as soon as I go to stream, I'm sneezing like mad. As Vince in the chat says, a bit of a tough dive there. Yeah, it was a little bit mad from Emo Guy, but he's trying everything he can. Excuse me, once again, as Matt gets a good exit out the first sector. Has he got enough of a grunt on that Bentley to send it down into the right-hander? Emo Guy goes to defend, and Matt's now looking down the inside. So Emo Guy with the fastest qualifying time. He's under pressure here in the race, and Matt's going to go down the inside. Job done for Matt, but is he going to run a little bit wide? No, Emo Guy is still there though, but Emo Guy just seems to be struggling, possibly maybe with his tyres. Maybe the tyre pressures are just a little bit sensitive right now. But either way, this has allowed this man to just extend his lead. Forzy now under massive pressure here for Gavlar, who looks down the inside of the long right-hander. Gavlar just goes a little bit wider, as does Forzy. Bouncing all over the curb there does Gavlar, and Big Boy Brazier not able to get close to capitalise. John now is ahead of Welshie, so Welshie's must had a moment somewhere. Is he carrying damage as well? Because that car doesn't sound too healthy, as he breaks a lot through the right-hander. Sutty currently ahead of Smoky Devil by quite a margin. PN still 13 and Lucas Roth 14th. Dean is 15th. So Fury, Matimovic, Emo Guy still your top three. Forzy and Gavlar still close to one another with Big Boy Brazier just behind them. You just see Peaceful just in the background. And soon the pit window will open, so when will these guys then decide that they will want to come into the pits? That will be the question. How long do they go for? And Fury's already been caught out by the pit lane already this season at Silverstone. He went too long and got caught out by the pit window. Fury, though, has allowed the both Bentleys to get close to him once again. Monkey Boy also has got Forzy, Gavlar and Big Boy Brazier coming at him, but we go down the back straight once again. And Matt, again, doesn't seem to be quite as close to Fury. It just seems where the Lamborghini can just stretch its legs ever so slightly, but he is crawling back ever so slightly, eventually in the slipstream. Matt is coming to attack Fury. But Fury there, being a bit smart, not over-defending the right-hander. Matt is right there. He is right there with Fury and forcing Fury to defend there. Matt looking at moves already, but it's possibly going to send him out wide. And maybe Emo Guy can have a sniffing opportunity here. Emo Guy back on the back of this at the minute. The best thing about this is a 3-horse train, so it's really allowing other cars to get themselves involved. As soon as one car makes a mistake, there's another one ready to pounce. Forzy is still ahead of Gavlar, Big Boy Brazier, but these guys are just managing to follow one another. And Monkey Boy is just staying ahead of them at this minute. So good scraps all the way up and down the grid at the minute. Not a lot going on further back. And Matt looked a little bit wide out the final corner there. That's giving Emo Guy a sniffing opportunity to come down the inside. Bentley's dominating this race again. Bentley's dominating this race. The season has been about Bentley's dominating. The Bentleys have been the strongest car this season, both at Silverstone and Hungaroring. And at the minute, the only car that seems to be attacking them is this Lamborghini, the little Lamborghini of Fury. The young Southwest driver here from the UK, looking to try and extend that gap over the Welshman of Matimovic, who just seems to have a better Sector 1 there than Fury. But Fury keeping his calm, keeping his cool. And he's got the Scotsman also of Emo Guy just behind. So Englishman, Welshman and Scotsman all batting it out for the top 3 positions. And Fury's had a great run through that corner there and has allowed himself to extend a gap. Go back to this, says Gavlar's lost a position to Big Boy Brazier somewhere. So Gavlar's dropped down the order. That's given Forzy a little bit of a break to try and catch Monkey Boy, and that gap's been dropped down by 6/10. So maybe Monkey Boy's made a mistake, so the Porsche's coming back to in this element. Back to the leaders. Fury once again giving a little bit of a tow. Lucas Roth has gone off just as these guys are coming up to that section. And Matt getting ever so close there. Lucas Roth coming back out on track. Maybe he's having wheel issues once again. Lucas Roth back on track as the leaders come flying towards him now. Fury looked like he opened the door ever so slightly from that. Matt had a wiggle there. So that gave Emo Guy a sniff opportunity. Emo Guy's going down the inside. And that is Emo Guy back through. Matt having a wiggle. And again, Fury's not really allowing these opportunities where these guys are racing. But when these two are racing heavy, it doesn't give him an opportunity to get away. Fury needs to use these moments where they're battling hard to just try and extend the gap. But it's not happening right now. Gavlar was alongside Big Boy Brazier in the second sector because they were pretty much level on time. So Forzy's managed to extend his gap. It's Matt now once again on the back. Haven't been able to follow this season much because of work, but I will try to watch more often. Has good racing here. Thank you very much for the kind words, Vince. Obviously all the videos are still live up on the channel, so you can always catch up. A reminder as well to anybody who is new to the channel, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel also, and hit the bell to be notified. So just like Vince, you don't manage to miss a single bit of racing here, and you'll be notified for when we are live. As there are some great racing going on at the minute. Monkey Boy now starting to come under pressure from Forzy. Forzy not able to really capitalize on it at the minute because they just seem to be matching lap times. Peaceful not really extending his gap. And Smoky Devil and Welshie are close to one another. But it's all about the lead drivers at the minute. Emo Guy currently P2. top 3 batting out. A reminder as well, just it goes a little bit more quiet here, to make sure you subscribe to the channel, to follow on Sunday night the penultimate round of the F2 Championship as we head to Suzuka. As myself, Big Boy Brazier will be on track, Gary131, A Smith also all be on track as well for the penultimate round of the season. I can wrap the title at Suzuka. Whether I'll do it or not is another question, but either way, make sure you tune in so you can see all the action on Sunday at Suzuka. But right now, Paul Ricard is where we're at, and we've got another back marker just coming up ahead. That is Dean Wasaki. He's gone very wide, he's made a slight mistake, and right now Fury will be hoping and praying that he gets out of his way as quickly as possible, because here comes Emo Guy once again. He is coming back on the attack, and Dean gets right out of the way, moves to one side and allowed the leaders to go through, and brilliantly done there by Dean Wasaki, allowing the leaders to carry on fighting as they are. And Emo Guy is right on the back bumper, 2 tenths separating him and Fury. They go through turn 1, beautifully hitting the curb into turn 2. Emo Guy just trying to stick with him here as the Lamborghini, the little Lamborghini against the giant Bentleys, is just trying to stay ahead of the guards, and Fury going into this slower section. Guys behind him seem to have just calmed down ever so slightly. They're all matching one another. As they now go down the back straight, Emo Guy looks like he's had a great run through the final part of Sector 1. Fury defends the inside. Emo Guy is going to have to do what Fury did to him and go right round the outside. Fury's going to squeeze him right to the end of the circuit. Matt currently a second off as they cross the beam now. Yeah, 1.1 off these two, and Emo Guy thinks better of it, lifts and allow Fury the inside. Is he going to try and come back at him? Emo Guy runs very wide, but he's able to just keep it within track limits. And Fury just hangs on a little bit longer. Once again, these three putting on a fantastic scrap. Monkey Boy, Forzy, and Big Boy Brazier and Gavila all just seem to have matched one another, and they're not able to really push. Fury's gone very wide, and that's allowed Emo Guy down the inside, but Fury's going to fight out. He's staying on the curb. He's going to give it a good go. He's going to stick to the outside. Probably not the place you want to be, but Emo Guy's gone deep. Fury's gone for the cutback, but once again he's on the outside of a corner. Is he going to go for another cutback? Matt's going to try and go down the inside of Fury. Fury's had a great run out of the hairpin. He's alongside again with Emo Guy, and they go towards turn 1 side by side. There you go, Paul Ricard. I thought it was going to be a bit of a boring race, but it's actually turned out to be a cracker between the top 3. Emo Guy's going to try and keep his nose in. He breaks a lot later, and he gets into turn 1 first. Fury gets the cut back though through turn 1 into turn 2. Fury once again cuts underneath, but doesn't quite get the drive. Matt now is right on the back of him once again. Just you in the background, there is PM Motorsport. Fury's going to dive down the inside. He thinks better of it. Emo Guy goes a little bit deep, obviously compromising to Fury's dive. Great race in between the top 3. No contact made so far, but Fury, I think, has just pushed a little bit too hard, and it's just allowed Emo Guy just to extend his gap ever so slightly. He's now got Matt to worry about in the background. Towards the back straight they go. Once again, Emo Guy now leads, with Fury right behind him. Matt also just behind them. Oh, I'd love an onboard shot right now, but sadly, obviously on the PS4 version, we are unable to see it. As once again, Fury in that Lamborghini has such straight line speed in the toe, is right on the back of Emo Guy once again. All these three putting on a fantastic show right now, and I really hope that these three do finish on the podium together. It'd be great to get an idea of how these guys bet over the race. The pit window has opened. 10 minutes for these guys to come into the pits and do at least one tyre change. And Welshie is the first man in, and I believe another car is coming as well. That is no, PM Motorsport has carried on. So the top 3, what do these guys do now? Does Emo Guy come in and try and get some clear air? Does Fury come in and try and get the undercut to go through the final sector? And I believe Emo Guy has bailed for the pits first. He's gone in. Matt has gone in with him though. So can they all avoid getting speeding in the pit lane? Fury though has got clean air. as there's a car off just ahead of these guys. Who is that? I think it's the 12 of Lucas Roth. He's had a big moment and he is rolling to the side. So Matt, Monkey Boy. So Matt's gone into the pits, as has Emo Guy. A very long pit lane as they come to the pit box. And they both get it stopped. Engines off. So Fury now leads this race. Then what does he do? Does he go as long as he possibly can with clean air and try and build a gap? Forsey, though, is under pressure from Big Boy Brazier. As there's a lot of cars coming into the pits. Gavlar's in. Also, Peaceful Explosion. Dean Wasaki's in as well. All these guys coming to get their pit stops done and out of the way. Forsey, on the other hand, currently having a bit of pressure from Big Boy Brazier. Emo Guy and Matt have cleared their pit stops. They have gone. Emo Guy's are long gone. He's dropped Matt relatively quickly. They came in close to one another. So I think Matt's made some repairs or changes, and Emo Guy hasn't. He's just done the tyres and off he goes. Down the straight he goes. There in the background is Smoky Devil. He is into the pits also. So the question is, does Fury go as long as he possibly can here? Or does he come in now and react as quickly as he possibly can? You just hear in the background, PN Motorsport's a lovely Aston Martin coming into the pits, taking out a sign at the same time. So Fury coming now through into the final corner, and he's in. He's coming in. Can he get it stopped? Yes, he does. So Fury into the pits. So what is Emo Guy going to do now? He has to pump in some absolute blinder of a lap times right now. Monkey Boy carries on, and he's got Forsey coming into the pits. Big Boy Brazier goes longer, so can Big Boy get ahead of Forsey? More importantly, can Fury get it stopped on his marks? Yes, he does. Bang on. Emo Guy is into the final few sectors now, as I will now put a poll up as we are coming up to the halfway point of the race of your winner. And at the minute, Emo Guy and Fury are looking very good for an opportunity here to take their first win of the season, but Matt is still in it. He's still able to try and fight with these two and take it to the very end. But anything can still happen. There's a vote out now currently for the top four. As Fury is exiting the pits, I believe. Yes, he is leaving, but Emo Guy, I think, has got the jump. Yes, he has. Fury's got a lot of work to do now, though, but he stays ahead, more importantly, of Matt, who comes flying down the straight. So they've all kind of strung themselves out a little bit. But it's Emo Guy who comes out in front, and look at the gap he's made. Emo Guy's done a brilliant outlap there and allowed himself a bigger gap. Emo Guy gained a good advantage with the pit stops there, Matt, and he has done as well with Fury. So Fury now got a lot of work to do. We still wait for Sutty Apex, Monkey Boy, Big Boy Brazier, and John. All three of those guys, all four of those guys will need to come into the pits and do their mandatory pit stop. A vote has currently gone out to who you think is going to win this race, as we have the halfway stage. Who is going to come out on top? Monkey Boy goes down the main straight. He is now coming into the pits. Big Boy Brazier will come in as well as he gets it stopped. John and Sati Apex are the last two to still do a pit stop. See Emo Guy.
Keep pushing.
Emo Guy with a demanding lead now. Is he able to now extend his lead? Fury, on the other hand, has been putting up a great fight. And I think now with Emo Guy with clear air is able to just pull away. Matt is now going to put Fury under massive pressure. John into the final corner as he opted to come into the pits now. He stays out for a little bit longer with Sutty Apex, the only other man still yet to do his pit stop. What can he do? Can he gain a few places with him going very, very long? Emo Guy extending his gap over Fury. 4 seconds was the gap, it's nearly 6 seconds now. So Fury really starting to get to struggle here. Maybe the tyre pressures aren't quite right on his second lap, on his second set, sorry. And he's just suffering with pressures a little bit here. Either way, he is under pressure from Matt. Forzy now goes, he stays ahead of Big Boy Brazier, but he jumps Monkey Boy in the pits. So Monkey Boy going that lap longer, he's actually lost out. So looks like here on ACC, the undercut is very, very strong. Forzy has jumped Monkey Boy and Big Boy Brazier quite comfortably. Big Boy was right on the back of Forzy and is now behind the pair of them. Gavlar even lost out even more between those guys as well. So Gavlar really not in the fight now. As Sutty now in the pits. Currently 1 vote going the way of Emo Guy at the minute on who is going to win this race. As we see there, Smoky Devil very slow. Nearly making contact with Welshie there. Oh, Smoky Devil with a little bit of a wiggle there. He's got the leaders coming up behind him. Fury's gone very wide. That'll invite Matt to get a little bit closer and also invite Emo Guy to extend his gap. As John, where is he currently on track? He's coming into the penultimate corner now. So it's either this lap or the next lap. He could do one more, but Emo Guy's right behind him and John decides to pit. And in he comes. So, race leader carries on going through. Emo Guy now retains the lead of this race. More importantly, Fury is under some immense pressure here from Mate Imovic, and something must have gone wrong in the pits for Fury because he's losing time left, right and centre here. He's just a lot slower than Emo Guy. To go into the first sector now. Fury's still under massive pressure. He's also got the fun of trying to clear some black traffic as John into the pits. That's everybody now doing the requirement as Welshie and Smoky Devil trying to look like they get out the way of the leaders as they go through the middle sector now. Down the back straight they come. Welshie still ahead of Smoky Devil at this stage. And everybody, as you can see there, green all the way down. They've all now done the mandatory stoppage. You see there, Smoky Devil and Welshie both go wide, and Matt has been hit by Smoky Devil. Matt, don't know how much damage he's got, but he has been hit there by Smoky Devil. Matt lucky he didn't get spun round or completely turned round there. So Matt, even though he didn't quite, he won't be happy about it, but either way he's got damage to the side of his car. He won't be happy about that. As we've got an old friend coming into the chat as Nikki in the chat saying oi oi Simplay with the rainbow emoji. Nice to see Nikki in the chat. Old Team Pro Laps making a little appearance here. Nice to see there's a drive through for the car number 4 for track limits. Here we go, drive-throughs are now starting to pop up. Track limits are coming into effect, and Monkey Boy is the first man to get that. He'll have to serve that in at least 3 laps time. Nicky says he loves on for dubs. Nice to see you in the chat, old friend, and we do miss you here at Simplay Motorsport. Monkey Boy exits the final corner. Is he choosing to do the pit drive-through straight away? Yes, he does. So already these guys are now starting to come under scrutiny. Pit window is now closed. 25 minutes left to go here in this session. Big Boy Brazier, can he catch Forzy now? Matt, with that slight damage, has he now not been able to catch Fury? As I see AA in the chat saying, come on, Emo Guy. A lot of guys from another league coming in to support their fellow driver. And Emo Guy with a very comfortable race lead now. Fury just not able to answer. Possibly tyre pressure's gone wrong in the pits as they come towards the right-hander. And that is Sati Apex, the next car for Emo Guy to lap. in the BMW. A lovely way that Sutty picked that car. He just randomly went into the lobby before we went live and just scrolled down and went, I'll pick that car. And he just randomly had the BMW. So Sutty Apex gracefully picking a brilliant car. Lucas Ruff currently in the pit, and I think it will stay there. I think he's probably having wheel problems. As we will be back soon. I miss you all, especially Dan, says Nikki in the chat. And Prolapse may be coming back with a bang, with a party. Who knows? It's nice to see Nikki in the chat though, and I hope you're doing well, Nikki. As also to familiar faces who have been in other leagues that I've raced against. As like I said, I've raced against AA Ratchas, I think that is. I raced him previously on an ACC league as well, so nice to see him in the chat. But right now, all seems to have just flattened ever so slightly. The start of this race was absolutely amazing. Between the top three was a really good scrap going on. But like I said, it's all just seemed to flatten out. Big Boy Brazier is actually the closest man to a car. He's now trying to get onto the back of Forzy. And this is my only issue with ACC. It just seems to flatten out quite a bit. And a reminder also that the Season 7 will be returning on Project Cars once again. Make sure you have signed up for that for Season 7, as the first round of the season will be at Oschersleben, and I believe the first round of the season, actually I've got the dates here on my phone, so just give me a moment and I will tell you the tracks and the cars and the dates. So we'll be returning back once again on Project Cars for a new season. We will be heading to the 28th of September. We'll be returning back to Project Cars for Season 7 of the Pro and Pro-Am. And we will start things off at Oschersleben A, where we will then go to Circuit of the Americas. Round 3 will be Catalonia, a morning race as well. Round 4 will be going to the glitch track, as a majority of the drivers like to call it. A lot of weird things happen at Laguna Seca. That will be an evening race, as we will then head to the Middle East, to Dubai for round 5. Round 6 we'll be flying back to America for Watkins Glen, and then we go to the other side of the world once again to round 7, as we will return to Sikito, also known as Suzuka. And then we go down under for round 8. We go to Bathurst, Mount Panorama for the 8th round of the championship, and then we head to France for round 9 at Le Mans Bugatti. Round 10 we bring it back home here to the UK. For 2 rounds in a row we go to Silverstone GP for a night race, and then straight after that we will head over to Brands Hatch GP for another night race as well. And then we will finish things off in style, as we always do here at Simplay Motorsport, as we will make our yearly trip over to Daytona for the final round of the season. So get yourself signed up, get your teams, get your cars, get everything ready for your new season. It's Fury, they're really struggling through there. Are there any spaces left for the next season, says Nikki? I think there's some spaces available in Pro-Am. As you, if you want to get involved, mate, then have a look on the Discord. I still believe you are on there. Have a look on the Discord. Sign up sheets are up on there. Get yourself signed up. You will obviously need a teammate and a car. And I believe Pro-Am is available. Pro pretty much is full right up. And what a season we have ahead of us. Pro is going to be a very, very interesting season. Speaking of interesting, here is Big Boy Brazier. He is right on the back end of Forzy. This man might be making a return back to Pro. Big Boy Brazier, possibly not in the McLaren, but either way, he is on the back of the Porsche 911 of Forzy. We have been waiting for a fight to happen, and here it is. Big Boy Brazier looking to the outside, Forzy down the inside. Can Jamie brave it out right round the outside? That is the question. And so far he's got the overlap. Forzy, is he going to try and stick his nose there and keep him going? He is indeed. And Forzy just trying to hang in there, but Big Boy's managed to get the job done, and Jamie gains that position. Fury, I think, is having a few little mistakes, because he just seems to be struggling. He's lost a little bit more time to Matt, but Big Boy Brazier now is still under pressure here from Forzy. He's going to go right round the outside of Jamie. Going to get the job done? No, as Smoky Devil's coming to the pits. I'm not sure why. Has he run out of fuel once again? either way, Smoky Devil back in the pits. As Nicky says in the chat, okay, I will, if I can, get someone from the team to join me. Yeah, no worries, mate. It's on Project Cars once again, and that is our calendar, and we will be live for the 28th of September for Pro-Am. Once again, on a Thursday night, 8 PM. On Thursday night will be the pros. That's Forzy right on the back end. Oh, big boy Brazio right there. Be nice CT Pro that's back on the grid. So can Forzy find a way through as he comes into the first sector? As Peaceful now is actually starting to get onto the back of Gavlar. Might ask the young fella Dan, he's not too bad. Ask the young fella. I don't know if you're referencing me, because I'll be making a return back to the pro, and I've already got a teammate and team name ready as we're coming towards the final end of these laps here. Big boy just seems to be extending his gap now over Forzy, so I think Forzy will struggle to come back at him. Might ask the young fella, Dan. Are you thinking of my old man? Because he might have a teammate already. Not showing anyone right now, but he might be having a teammate already. But right now, Forzy trying to put Big Boy Brazier under a bit more pressure, but I think Jamie now just seems to have the edge over the Porsche and is trying to extend his gap. Meanwhile, Peaceful Explosion is also trying to cash onto the back of his fellow Ferrari driver, Gavlar. Sadly, no disco tonight in the other Ferrari, but hopefully we will have it back for the next round. Which next week we will sadly have no ACC, but instead we will have a practice session, I believe. Peaceful will be running on Project Cars, so people can get involved and just test a few cars, test a few car tracks that will be running as well in the right day times as well. I'll have to ask Ben then, he's okay I guess. Sorry Nicky. Sadly all the Pro Lads boys left us here, so I've gone a bit Love Island lovers right now, so I had to go to the dark side. But right now Fury is still in P2 at the minute. Matt is not really catching on to the back of him, and I think again that damage that he sustained from Smoky Devil just dropping the rear and hitting the side of the car probably has ruined his chances here. Smoky Devil in the pits again, so he's obviously had another moment. PN currently P12, he's got a fast Ferrari of Gavlar, who's got a Peaceful Explosion breathing down his neck eventually. So that's getting hot and spicy between the two Ferrari drivers. As Gavlar goes to one side, PN's going to allow him through. As the beautiful Aston Martin screams down the back straight. I think every single car should sound like that V12. But to be fair, the Ferrari does sound nice on the downshift. Let's not forget the other beautiful sounding car on the grid is this car as well. The Porsche 911 sounds absolutely glorious on this game. This is one of the things, like I said, I say every week, but it's just a testament to Assetto Corsa for how much detail they give into it. The sound of this car, the sound of these cars are just unreal. They sound absolutely amazing. And the Porsche actually sounds very, very similar to the actual Porsche 911 itself. I've obviously seen, them at British Touring Cars, the GT at the Super Cup Championship, and they sound very, very similar. As Peaceful has now brought that gap within a second to Gavlar, so that's going to be a good little scrap. Who's my lover Kelly racing with then? He is a driver on this grid, but I can't confirm nor deny. Could possibly be one of the drivers you can see on screen right now. But at the minute, Emo Guy with a very commanding lead at the minute, 12.7 ahead of this man Fury, and Fury's hanging it very sideways. I think his tyre pressures are really starting to struggle him now. He's unable to match Emo Guy on pace. Matt, I think, is sustaining damage and is just trying to get himself towards the end. Big Boy Brazier with a very decent race has managed to get himself up into P4 after starting last pretty much on the grid after carrying a qualifying ban. Forzy currently P5 at the minute. And again, a very, very decent round for himself. He's scoring good points. He's going to lose out to Emo Guy, though. Gavlar P6, but he's now under some massive pressure from Peaceful Explosion. It's the Ferrari feud who's going to come out on top. Peaceful with a great qualifying session, but can't seem to put it together in the race. Gavlar just ahead of him. He is fighting for Ferrari rights. The only two Ferraris on track, and they're batting it out for 6. Whoa! Whoa, Peaceful Explosion going airborne there, hitting the car on the curb and launching the front end. Peaceful Explosion probably wasn't expecting that one. I'm going to have to watch that back, but he's lost a massive amount of time now to Gavlar after hitting that curb. Currently P8 is Monkey Boy. He was looking so strong in P4, but then got himself a drive-through for track limits. I'm just watching back Peaceful. I think he just hits the curb a bit too hard, and yes, he does, and he launches the car up in the air. Brilliant stuff there. John, after not readying up at the start of the race, he's currently P9, so that's a good recovery, all things considered. Top 10, bringing out the top 10 will be Sati Apex in the random ass car that he chose of the BMW, with Welshie currently P11 doing very well in that Lamborghini, just trying to stay away of the Ferraris there. PN currently P12 with Dimasaki P13. He's got a car behind him, that is Fury, who's just going to go down the inside of him. He lifts and gets right out the way. Smoky Devil and Lucas Roth both in the pits at the minute. Not a lot going on track as Welshie's gone off there. Sati had both of them. They are a bit loose now. Need someone a bit tight, says Nikki in the chat. We've got 6 votes currently as well going on the chat at the minute. Emo Guy with 67%, Fury with 33%, and I think it's pretty much Emo Guy's to lose at the minute. He's got a very demanding lead out in front. He goes down towards turn 1 while Fury only comes out the final corner. As there's a car returning back to track, I believe. No. For Fury, just losing more and more lap time as each lap goes by. Matt's losing lap time as well. Who's Welshie racing with? He's currently carrying on his partnership from what I know of. But again, not a lot of drivers have actually confirmed drivers or team names yet, so negotiations are still available. So you just have to go around and ask who's available. I think I know for sure Kieran Argent is available. I believe that Buzzy Boy, Dimasaki, and I'm not sure who else. I know those 3 are available. As Gavlar's made a mistake somewhere, he's dropped back. Peaceful Explosion is now ahead of him. Not sure how that's happened, but either way, Peaceful gains another place. Could have been a lot better if he'd not dropped it lap 1. Very good qualifying for himself, but either way, he has dropped himself down to P6. Gary's still in the pro, mate, so you have to you're unable to partner with Gary, and Gary's actually with this man, Mata Himovic, your current pro champion as well. Won last season. Was a very tight fight between him and Overtaker. As we have lost a driver, we've lost Lucas Roth, so Keegs will have to carry a qualifying ban for the next round of the season, which I actually don't know off the top of my head where it is. It will be at Catalonia. What a circuit! We would destroy everyone, says Nikki in the chat. Sadly, Gary is taken by this man, your pro champion Mata Himovic. Both of them taking the title last season. Fury still in P2 at the minute. And like I said, right now it's just flattened out. All the drivers are spread right out. There's no close fights whatsoever. John not close enough to the Monkey Boy. Sati nowhere near John. PN's the other end of the circuit. So your only closest fight is actually Gavlar and Peaceful. And once again, they're only 5 seconds separating them. So we will go back on board with your race leader. And while it's all relatively quiet, I will end the poll there. And it is looking like the way of Emo Guy favoured to win this race. And can't believe why. As I will get another poll going. Driver of the day. Get your votes in on who you think your driver of the day is. So we get Evo Guy, Fury, and Matt. We'll also put Big Boy Brazier in for that one as well, as he's done a great job from the back of the pack to bring himself back up into P4. So great drive from him. I'm not going to repeat what Nicky's just said, but he gets around too much from what I've heard a lot about him, says Nicky in the chat. Vince saying in the chat, easy win for Emo Guy now. Yeah, pretty much. He's looking very good. Get your votes in for driver of the day, and we will reward them to the drivers at the end of this race. But it is Emo Guy who currently goes through the final corner, and he will go towards the line now. Currently 8 minutes left on the clock, so I reckon another 4 more laps. We could get up to lap 30 here. Get your votes in on who you think driver of the day is. DJ Phil. No DJ Phil for the ACC. He hasn't signed up to it, so no DJ Phil for these ones. I think Phil has already also been taken as well by Ugbart, so those two are partnering up once again. And again, I can't confirm nor deny all of these. I'm just going by guesses. Some of them I do know, but yeah, others I can't actually put a positive statement to say that they are partnering up. So great drive from Evo though, very well deserved win. Yeah, definitely so. Could have been a lot better for him at the Hungaroring, and he's just really demanded it here for this one. A lot of good racing between him, Fury and Matt though, but since the pit stops he has been a long gone into the distance. Fury though put on a great effort in that Lamborghini and really tried taking the fight to him, and Matt as well, right in the back of the guys in front of him. He was right in the thick of it, ready to pounce if those two made any mistakes. But either way, Matt is going to have to come third best in this one. 2 wins to his name. Definitely need Team Pro Laps back. We brought the fun with our special words in the interviews. Yes, you did, Nicky. Yes, you did. It's been a while since you guys have been in the chat. Big Boy Brazier currently P4, and like I said, brilliant recovery from the south. Pretty much with a qualifying ban. He started pretty much last by a few people, and has recovered himself back up to P4, so Jamie can be proud of that one. Forzy, once again, another solid drive in the Porsche 911. He's currently 5th place with Peaceful Explosion recovering. He is actually catching Forzy, so at this rate, he might be able to catch him just towards the last lap of this race. Monkey Boy P7 after taking a penalty, drive-through penalty for taking too many track limits. And Gavlar P8. John, another solid drive after starting from the pit lane, after forgetting to ready up in time. He's currently P9 with Sati Apex P10. PM Motorsport in 11th place with Welshie in the pits in 12th. Dimasaki in 14th, and Smoky Devil back out on track, bringing up the rear. Fury's in the pits. What has happened here? Fury has to go into the pits, and I'm not sure why that is. Has he run out of fuel? What has happened here? I'm not sure why Fury is in the pits, but that has given Matimovic second place. Fury, has he thrown away a podium here? Big Boy Brazier is in the final corner. Jamie is going to get himself on the podium here. Well, she's back out on track. Fury, what has he done? Has he run out of fuel? I'm not sure what's happened here, but Big Boy Brazier now goes into P3. Wow, so that puts Forzy up into P4. Peaceful P5. Can Peaceful get past Forzy to get P4? Because Fury's... oh no, sorry, they haven't quite got there. Sorry, so Fury's obviously ran out of fuel, got low on fuel. He's going to hang on for P4 by the looks of things. Can he catch Jamie before the end? Highly doubt it though, but Fury's thrown away a podium here, and I'm not sure why. I'm guessing his fuel. It's got to be fuel. So the top two now, long gone into the distance. Well, Mark has started a new job. BT Tiger has been working away a lot. Laney has a baby. Thinking it's Mark's baby, says Nicky in the chat. Whoa, Team Prolapse have been very busy since they've been gone, especially Laney. He's been very, very busy. We did briefly have Mark for a couple of rounds in the touring cars, so it was nice to see him make a comeback. But, wow, Team Prolapse stepping up in the world. Definitely Laney, he's had to step up in a very different way. But Emo Guy, once again, just cruising his way to an easy win. Where is Emo Guy? He is currently in the first sector. And Matt crossing the line for P2. Big Boy Brazier is going to be shocked to find that he's in P3. He's going to be well happy with that one, I think. Considering he started last on the grid as well. Guys, get your votes in. There's 16 currently voting. Only 2 people have voted. So get your votes in on Driver of the Day. Because, to be fair, the drivers, especially myself and the others, do really appreciate your votes as well. And, yeah, we do like to know if the fans enjoyed our driving and our recoveries. Forzy now under a lot of pressure from Peaceful Explosion, but we got a couple of lap cars in the way. Peaceful has caught Forzy. He's got a couple of laps now to try and get past him. Meanwhile, where is Emo Guy? He is currently in the final few sectors. I think we might get 2 more laps out of this with Matt in the middle sector. But more importantly now, Forzy is under pressure from Peaceful. Peaceful looks to the outside. Forzy can't make a mistake now. He has to stay strong. Fury's just up the road there, so if anything does happen between Fury, these two are still in for a 4th place position. That means more points, and Dean Wasaki right in the way of Fury, and that's what I mean. Fury's gone off. Has Peaceful managed to get away with it? Fury's back on track, but Forzy's going to be much faster. There he is. Forzy is on the back of him. So Forzy now is going to get past Fury here. Fury has no answer because of Dean Wasaki. Dean Wasaki getting in the way, so Fury to the outside, Forzy to the inside. Is Forzy brave enough to go around the inside? Matt Peaceful's right there as well. Oh, it's going to get really heated up towards the end there. Forzy gets the job done down the inside. Fury's going to hang out on the outside though. Peaceful Explosion is right there as well. Oh, Fury makes contact with Forzy. Forzy gets a little bit loose. Fury gets loose. That's going to allow Peaceful down the inside of Fury. So Fury there just getting desperate. He's losing places left, right and centre. And Peaceful's off. Peaceful's gone round. Fury. Is he slowing down to let Peaceful few? But Forzy now up into P4. All sorts of drama going on, and Peaceful gets back. He looks like he's lost the place to Monkey Boy. So all sorts of drama towards the end of this race, and Peaceful Explosion comes out the worst of them all. As Zemo Guy goes into the quick right-hander, he is coming towards the final sector. We will stay on board with him to see him come towards the line. I don't know if it'll be this lap. I'm trying to see what happened between Peaceful and Fury. Zemo Guy coming through the final sector now. Is he going to do one more lap? That is the question. 30 seconds still on the clock. I think we might get one more lap here as Peaceful goes down the inside. Fury right behind him, and Fury spins him round. So that's what's happened there. Fury has spun Peaceful around, and we get one more lap here. One more lap. Emo Guy will start his final lap here. Fury has dropped right back though and allowed Peaceful back through. So, Peaceful Explosion will get that position back, but Emo Guy now is on the last lap here. What a race he has had. Can Peaceful find his way back on Monkey Boy? So, in the chat, Nikki says, Civic has moved to the Isle of Man, and Ben is having a baby as well. I think it's your baby, Dan. Possibly so. I don't remember it happening, but to be fair, Yeah, I don't remember that happening, to be honest, Nicky. And also, I've been working in the red light district of Amsterdam. Just got the sack though, says Nicky. Is that why he's back here at Simplay Motorsport? He's obviously missed us because he can't be in the red light district. Vince saying, fellow Dutchy. I'm not trying to say... oh, you're talking towards Nicky? No, Nicky's definitely British, I know that. But we do have a couple of Dutch drivers here at Simplay Motorsport. So I believe Ugbar is Dutch. I believe Max Mulder and Nick also are Dutch as well. So you have quite a few Dutch drivers here. Starting to become very international here at Simplay Motorsport. Emplava being a Latvian. Overtaker, I'm not quite sure where Overtaker's from, but I know he's a European. I would say... I have to say Max Verstappen is a god, says Nicky. Matt will not be too happy about that one. But we go back to this man. What a race he's put on as Peaceful just gets onto the back of Monkey Boy. But Emo Guy, great little scrap between Fury and Matt on the early part of this race. But he's managed to keep his cool. He's managed to keep his head clear. And it's Emo Guy who takes the win at round 3 here at Simplay Motorsport. Emo Guy will win at Paul Ricard. Congratulations to him, as Matt is still in part of the final sector. He's very slow actually. Matt is very, very slow here. Jamie's actually not too far away. Oh no, Matt's okay. It just looked like he was going slow for a minute there, but Matt is going to come home, continuing the top. Staying on the top 2 steps at the minute of this season. He hasn't dropped any higher than first or second, and Matt will come home for a second place. Good stuff there for Matt, and continues his championship hunt. And Big Boy Brazier will complete the podium, and I didn't think he was expecting this. Jamie will take P3 here. He'll be well happy with that one. 4Z currently coming through the middle sector. The next car will be Sati Apex to cross the line. So there is a car in the pits. That's Emo Guy already in the pits. Sati coming towards... Are you doing interviews? Of course we're doing interviews. Dominant second stint from there from Emo Guy. Nicky saying, I'm UK, but I love the Dutch, says Nicky. And Sati crosses the line. Then it's going to be 4Z towards the line. He's going to be happy with the P4 there. As he crosses the line, P4 for him. You'll see him once again on Sunday night in the F2s. Monkey Boy Peaceful was a sprint to the line. Peaceful looking down the inside. He doesn't quite get it. Monkey Boy will stay in P5. Peaceful will get P6. Fury will come P7. And Gavlar will come in P8. A car crossing the line now, I believe that is Dean Wasaki. And John will come home in P9. Yeah, driver of the day still up for votes if you guys want to get your votes in now. Matt, while you're in the chat, can you invite Emo Guy and Big Boy Brazier in for me, as John just trying to maneuver his way past Satier, Smoky Devil. PN will come across the line to take another P11 now. Good points for him. Smoky Devil crosses the line P14, and then it will be John crossing in the final positions, but it is Emo Guy, your man, who comes out on top here. Matt's winning streak has come to an end, and Emo Guy wins here at Paul Ricard. The Bentley still with a 100% record of winning here at Simplay Motorsport in the ACC Championship, as we will get the top 3 in the chat now. I believe also Matt has been updating the championship as we speak. We're just waiting for Big Boy Brazier to come in the chat, and so far it's going the way of Emo Guy for driver of the day at the minute. Currently only 2 votes. Guys, get your votes in. Nikki in the chat says, Dan, tell Matt that I said he was almost as good as Max Verstappen. I know he will not be liking that one whatsoever. So Nikki back once again causing trouble, as he always does. But we do have currently just Emo Guy, and there's Big Boy Brazier, just as I was about to have a look to see if he was in. And as Jamie, thank you very much, Matthew, as we will get on to Jamie straight away. And Jamie, I bet you were not expecting that one. P3 from the back of the grid. You've got to be very happy with that.
Oh, I wasn't expecting that at all, and yeah, I'm delighted with that. So I was just wanting to make the end of the race. I passed two races I've quit, and I just wanted to make the end of this one. But yeah, I didn't think I'd ever get a podium.
Yeah, you look like you had very good pace in the practice session as well. You're up there with Emo Guy, Matt, and Fury with pace-wise as well. So it wasn't a surprise that you managed to negotiate your way through. But by the list of things there, Fury at the end, not sure why, but possibly fuel or something, causing him to pit early towards the end of the race. And nonetheless, you look like you had a good scrap with Forzy and Gavlar as well. So either way, it was a great night's worth of racing involved for yourself.
Yeah, it was. So me and Forzy were having a good battle. Me and Gavlar as well. And yeah, so it was just a good night all together. And yeah, I didn't realise Fury had pitted until PN said Fury's pitted, and I realised that was in third.
Yeah, definitely. So next round of the championship, we'll be heading towards Catalonia for the next round of the season. What can you do there? And also another thing to mention as well is obviously Sunday night the F2's return. We head to Suzuka, and what can you do on that?
Suzuka is not really a track I like, so I think it's just going to be a case of show up and see what I can do. Whether a win's on the cards, probably not, but say a podium. But
Yeah.
for Catalonia next week, it's just going to be about getting some points. I know from reading up a bit that Catalonia is quite bad on the tyres and that they overheat quite a bit, so just have to do a bit of practice and see how they handle.
Well, nonetheless, mate, congratulations on the P3, and we will see you on Sunday night.
Well done to Emo Guy and Matt as well.
As we do now move on to your P2 man, Matt Ahimovic, continuing his record in the top 2 this season in the ACC. And Matt just didn't seem to have the pace of Emo Guy tonight, but nonetheless, you three had a cracking scrap towards the first half of that race. That was absolutely brilliant to watch, but as soon as the pit stops were done and dusted, it seemed like Emo Guy could just disappear into the sunset.
Yeah, it was a cracking race, and hats off to Emo Guy and Fury for that first half, because it was absolutely fantastic battle. For most of it, I just felt like I was sat there watching. Managed to get Emo Guy and have a look at Fury a couple of times, and the pit stop just ruined me. I don't know what happened in the pits, but Emo Guy was just a couple of seconds quicker, and then he was gone. Smokey had a moment back off the race. He had a slide, I think you caught it on the stream. It tapped me. I got a bit of damage on the left, which kind of put to bed any pace I had early on. So it was a shame, but nonetheless, that first half of the race, absolutely fantastic, and clean, hard racing.
Well, obviously, yeah, you just briefly mentioned Smokey Devil dropping it all by himself and just hitting the side of you. Was that really game over of attacking Fury? Obviously, Fury then at that point, later on, for some reason having to pit early, we're not still sure why later on, but either way, it seemed like, you didn't have the pace, but you were just thereabouts whenever Fury and Emo made those slight mistakes or errors, and you were just able to pounce.
Well, me and Fury's lap times were quite close, quite similar every time I had a look, and it was Emo Guy who was the quicker one of the three. And then after the pit stop, like you say, Smokey just tapped me, and that put to bed anything. I had damage on the left-hand side. The car was just struggling a little bit.
Yeah.
And then, Fury pitted, which I found bizarre. I said to Mike and Sooty and Monkey Boy in the chat earlier in the race, I said, the way I pulled out of Fury slipstream early in the race, and he still pulled away from me, and then the way he got past Emo Guy on the straights. Now, don't get me wrong, that Lambo looked quick on the straights and the Bentley looked better in the corners, but I said to them, I think Fury's light on fuel. I said, just the way his car looked like it was handling, looked like it was being able to accelerate at the corners. It didn't look like it was a heavier car like the Bentley, and alright, that's probably because of the characteristics of the Bentley, but I said Fury's underfueled. I just got a feeling that Fury was underfueled, and I don't know if that is the case. But, it's a shame he had to pit. He had that P2 wrapped up. He didn't make it. He managed to not get the damage, and he drove a cracking race. And it's a shame I know he had a bit of an altercation with Mike at the end. It's a shame he finished solo down. But no, cracking night's worth racing. More points in the bank. Emo Guy catches me by 5, and we move on to 2 weeks' time now. So but well done to Jamie and Emo Guy and the rest of the lads.
Oh, well, congratulations on P2, mate.
Just want to say as well, miss you too, Nicky. And if Team Pro Lopes do come back, Simplay Racing's ready for you.
And almost as good as Max Verstappen's in the wise words of Nicky, so you've got to take that into account as well. Anyway, we move on to your race winner, and Emo Guy, Ian, what a night of race here. Again, I mentioned again to top three, you guys put on a fantastic show the first half of the race, but again, that pit stop and that last stint, you were able to absolutely dominate here on a circuit that you said in the chat that you don't actually like, but nonetheless, you got the win and you stopped Matt's dominance.
Yeah, I really don't know what it was. I just came in, did a few laps in practice, then, you know, I thought I was doing mediocre, then came into the official session, waited for it until the last 10 minutes of the practice session, went out, did a couple of laps, got P2, then came to quali, and I was like, where am I getting this pace from? I do not know. I do not know what I was doing different to everybody else. I was just driving the car and just putting in the laps.
Obviously, something must have clicked, but obviously, again, briefly talk us through the fight that you had with Fury and Matt, because again, that was brilliant. You had a few lunges on Fury. Fury then obviously knew you were doing the lunges. He then undercuts you. It was just great watching for us on the outside. But tell us from your perspective how that was, because you must have been thoroughly enjoying that.
Oh, I was loving it. It's probably the best battle I've ever had on Assetto Corsa in the entire time that I've been playing it. I think the only one of the reasons is always that Fury was able to keep up with me was possibly because, like Matt said, he was probably under fuel. But as well as that, my qualifying setup was on rear wing 2, and my race trim was rear wing 3, so that put me down a little bit further. So I think that was why that the rest of it was absolutely fantastic. I was watching my mirrors constantly. I was always on edge, trying to improve my lanes where possible. I knew that I had a little bit more of an edge on the faster right-hander. That's where I really tried to put most of my tires into.
Yeah. Well, either way, congratulations on the win. We get a little bit of a break for next week, obviously due to myself and Matt being away. But 2 weeks time, we then come back. We're going to go to Catalonia. What can you do there, and can you now bring the hunt to Matt's championship?
I'm hoping so. I've done a few endurance races around Catalonia in this Bentley, so I have. So hopefully, all the time that I've put in during those endurance races come back to me and help me to, take the fight to Matt and possibly Fury if he has a good night that night as well. So yeah, I'm just gonna show up and do what I do. I don't do practice. I just come up and I just show up and race.
Well, nonetheless, mate, congratulations on the win and on the fans' vote as well. You have been given Driver of the Day as well, and I will give you Driver of the Day as well, because that was a very dominant end to that race. Obviously, special mentions to Fury and Matt for putting on a great show, and also to Big Boy Brazier for a great recovery drive from himself. But that is it for tonight for the ACC. Paul Ricard is done. We'll be back in 2 weeks' time as we will head to Catalonia for the next round of the championship. Matt has
build up Sunday.
Can do, but I'm just going to quickly run through the standings. As we just come to the end of this evening, Matt leads the way, and there's 25 points separating him and Emo Guy. Emo Guy now has got the momentum behind him. Can he take it to him with a couple of rounds here? Forzy is still P3 at the minute, but Rabbit Joe's dropped down with Monkey Boy currently P4, Peaceful P5, Rabbit Joe P6, Gavalar 7th, Fury in 8th, PM Motorsport 9th, John is up into 10th, Big Boy Brazier 11th, Sutty is 12th, 13th is Welshie, 14th is Disco, 15th is Lucas Ruff, 16th is Smoky Devil, and bringing up the rear is Dean Wasaki. And that is it from myself, and I will now hand over to Matt, who will take it on for the penultimate round of the season of the F2s.
Join us Sunday night, 7:30 p.m. BST for Suzuka in the F2s. The sprint and the feature race, can't get my words out. Unorthodox 16 can wrap up his 6th title here at Simplay Motorsport and his 3rd outside of a GT category. He's won the GT3s, he's won the GTs, he's won the GT5s. Can this be his first ever non-GT title? Also, the only other person bar myself to win a championship on another platform of game. So Dan got a lot to fight for at the weekend. Also can Colin wrap up the team's championship Sunday night, 7:30 p.m. BST. I will bring you the coverage of that, and then again there will not be any F2 or ACC next week due to myself and Dan both being away that weekend. Again, if you can come and support me over at Racing Unleashed on Saturday and Sunday next week, that would be much appreciated, as you guys are absolutely amazing. Dan, back to you.
Yep, that is it here tonight. Congratulations once again to Emo Guy, who dominates here at Paul Ricard. We'll be back in a couple of days' time as F2s will hit the track. But from myself and everybody here, and the return of Prolapse as well coming in the wake, will the Rainbow make its return? That is the question. But from everyone